Hi, my name is Jeannie Carl, and I work for Carbon County Environmental Education Center. Today I'm coming to you from my beautiful backyard, and what I wanted to do was talk about one of the animals on this wonderful planet of ours that I find incredibly interesting. This animal belongs to the group of creatures called reptiles. Reptiles, as you may know, have dry, scaly skin. One of my favorite commercials is about dry, scaly skin. There's this lady who's complaining that her skin is dry and scaly. And as she's talking about this problem, behind her is walking a crocodile. And the reason the crocodile is in the video is because the crocodile has dry, scaly skin. So reptiles do have dry, scaly skin. Some snakes look slimy, but they're not. They have oils in their skin that reflect the light, just like the oils in our hair reflect the light. Our hair's not slimy, either is their scales. Something else about reptiles, most reptiles on the planet do something pretty cool. They lay eggs. I don't know if you can see those. They lay eggs. And they're not really too remarkable looking. They don't have beautiful colors. They don't have beautiful patterns because the mother reptile, the female, is going to conceal these eggs in a pile of leaves, in a mulch pile. If the female has legs like a turtle or an alligator, they'll dig holes and they'll kick the soil back up over the eggs to conceal them. So they don't have these beautiful patterns that some of our bird eggs have. So they look like kind of squishy marshmallows. They don't have any pattern, they don't have any color, nothing just to really tell one egg from the other. But most of your reptiles lay eggs. All turtles, all crocodiles, all alligators lay eggs. Not all snakes. There are some snakes in Pennsylvania, the garter snake, the water snake, the copperhead, the rattlesnake, that do something rather remarkable and keep the eggs inside them until those young are ready to be kind of born. It's a little different from what mammals do, but it's considered a live birth. They're more in a gelatinous sac than they are in an egg. The other cool thing is, if you're a reptile, you are in a class of animals that's considered vertebrate animals, which means they have vertebrae. They have a backbone. They have a spine. So our fish, our amphibians, our reptiles, our mammals, and our birds. There's 5 groups of animals that have a backbone. And a lot of times people will ask me, well, aren't they kind of like big worms? Of course they're not like big worms because they've got bones. And as you know and I know, worms do not have bones. So what I like to do is show you one of the most common snakes that we have here in Pennsylvania, if he'll cooperate. He's not very happy. I took him from work today and put him in a bag and traveled home. So we'll see how this goes. He may not be the most cooperative, but we're going to give it a try. So if you'll bear with me for a minute, I'll get him out of his pillowcase. Something people ask me, especially when I'm doing a program at a school, is the kids are concerned, isn't this animal going to smother? You put him in a pillowcase, and how's he going to breathe? Well, the neat thing is, in the pillowcase, where the threads are woven together, there's little spaces where the air can pass through. And if you don't believe me, I can show you real quick. I had to put him in this really snazzy looking bag because, I mean, what else would you be in, right? So if I take the bag and I gently push it against my nose, I can breathe the air that's passing through. If I put a plastic bag on my head, as you know, don't do that, the air couldn't pass through. So the snake is not having any problem whatsoever breathing in the bag. So I know some people don't like snakes. They're afraid of them. They're afraid they might bite. They have teeth. All snakes have teeth. All snakes can bite. But if you give them a chance to get away from you and don't threaten them, chances are they're not going to bite. All snakes have teeth. All snakes can bite. Doesn't mean we have to be afraid of them because lots of creatures have teeth. If you think about it, your children, your spouse, your mom, your dad, your neighbor, they all have teeth, pretty much. And they could bite you at any given time if you give them a good reason, right? They're probably not going to. So just because something has teeth doesn't mean we have to be afraid of it. I'm going to back up just a little bit so I can get him out of the bag and you can see him or her. I don't know if this snake is a male or a female. It's pretty tough to tell just by looking at them, if they're male or they're female. Something else, real quick, before I get the snake out of the bag, is all snakes can swim. Some snakes swim better than others. Kind of like me. My husband swims better than I do. All snakes can climb. Some better than others. Again, maybe like my grandson. He can climb a tree much faster and better than I could. But all snakes can climb. All snakes can swim. All snakes have teeth. Not all reptiles have teeth, but all snakes have teeth. So the snake in the bag is a black rat snake. Pretty common. There are 2 black snakes in Pennsylvania that people talk about. The black rat snake. And his body is kind of loaf-shaped, kind of squarish. And even though it's called a black rat snake, there are colors in the scales. They remind me of a UPS truck. Kind of brownish in color. Kind of dull in color. And the other black snake is the black racer. Think race car. Think shiny, sleek, fast. So those 2 snakes are the 2 snakes that people are talking about when they're talking about black snakes in Pennsylvania. Like I said, I don't know how this is going to go. He's not in a real good mood. But I wanted to show him to you because the cool thing is he is getting his freedom back today. So I want to show him to you real quick. We'll see how photogenic he is. Pardon me for 1 second while I get him out of the bag. And we'll see what he thinks of my backyard. So here he is. I don't mean to scare you. He's pretty interested in my recording device. I'm using my iPad today. One of the things you might notice he's doing, he's flicking that tongue in and out. Some people think that tongue is a weapon, is a stinger. That's how they inject venom into their prey. That's not the case whatsoever. Boy, he really likes the iPad. You think he can see himself in the reflection of the screen. So he's probably thinking that might be a girlfriend for him. But like I said, if you can see, he's got colors in his scales. So he's not what you would consider a black snake. Here he comes again. He's looking at himself in the reflection. Got that tongue going. Trying to figure out what in the world is going on. Whoa, sorry if I scared you. So that tongue is just getting a sense of what's going on in the new environment. Is there danger? Get away from it. Is there food? Get closer to it. And if you're a male snake, is that the scent of a female? Because older females smell pretty interesting. Older females that are able to reproduce give off a scent, a pheromone, that lets the males know they're in the area, and it might be a good thing to introduce themselves to that female. Okay, he is quite squirmy. He just wants to go and go and go. I'm trying to show you the colors in the scales. I can't see now. So he's not a solid black snake. When they're young, they've got all kinds of markings and speckles. It's hard to see because he's not going to hold still for anything. But he's got some brown on him. He's got a little bit of yellow on him, a little bit of reddish, like cinnamon color. And he's rather handsome snake. There he goes. They are completely harmless. Like I said, they have teeth. All snakes have teeth. But doesn't mean we have to be afraid of them. Respect them like all wildlife. Leave them alone and let them do their thing. Like I said, the cool thing is he's going to get his freedom. Time to go out there, find some food, find a mate, stay away from the hawks. Stay away from the other animals that might try to make a meal out of him. Great horned owl. I have great horned owls in our yard here. So he's going to have to stay away from those things and figure things out. But the neat thing about this habitat here on top of the mountain past Jim Thorpe is there's lots of nooks and crannies that he can find himself a place to hang out, find a mate, find some food, and hopefully live a very happy life. So I just wanted to show him to you quick. Neat snake, a harmless snake. There are venomous snakes in Pennsylvania, the timber rattlesnake, the copperhead, but most of the snakes that people encounter are harmless. So that's it for right now. I just wanted to show them to you quick. And I will have some pictures on Facebook of his release, and you can get to see where he's going to hang out in the woods and hopefully have quite the life here in my backyard. One thing I will tell my neighbors when I let him go is that there is a black rat snake on the loose, and please don't hurt him because he's harmless. And the wonderful thing about black rat snakes, they are excellent rodent control. They will keep the mice and the rats under control. Might keep the chipmunks under control too. That's okay. I like chipmunks. 1 or 2 chipmunks in my yard is all right. 45 chipmunks in my yard, not so all right. So they're going to keep these small creatures under control, and that's a good thing. Rats and mice sometimes can spread diseases to us that can make us very sick. These guys spread no diseases to us. So while I know some people are frightened of snakes, and that's all right, everyone's afraid of something, it's good to know that these snakes are out there in the environment controlling the small things that may cause a problem for us. I hope that's it. If you have any questions, you can call the Environmental Center. You can always Facebook us. And I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I hope you enjoyed this video. The snake and I are going to say goodbye for now.